Is what you're hearing in the news about the Southern California real estate market true? Mortgage rates were down, mortgage rates were up. Where are we right now? We are going to let you know in the Southern California Housing Market Report. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Let's see what happened in October. Remember, we had interest rates drop in the beginning of the month, and then they decided to turn around and go the other way. So this data we're seeing here is a nice mixture. We got the sold. We got the number of properties under contract, and we got the new listings. Let's bring all those back, and our email newsletter subscribers get to play with these numbers and get a look closer. Long story short, what I'm looking at, what matters to me, is buyer demand. That's properties going under contract. We can see that we're up year over year. We had our bottom in 2022 at this point in time when rates were nuts, but things have since rallied back. We're not at normal years, and we're not like COVID years. And then I'm also looking at seller supply. So I'm looking at new listings, similar tale where we are up year over year, and we're up as compared to 2022, 2023. Moving our way potentially to more normal years. I want to point out the big gap. So look at back here, 2018, a normal year. We had a lot of listings at this time of year. Why is that? Well, interest rates went up in October into November and got them laughing, because you'll laugh when you hear the number. They were in the high fours and almost got to 5. Compare that to where we are now. You would have bought everything you could back then between the prices and the interest rates. But everybody was scared. What's going to happen in the market, etc. So it shows when you're looking forward, it's scary. When you're looking back, you're like, yeah, I probably should have bought. And then we see the dip in new listings and pending sales back here, 2019, more normal year. We're still tighter than that in Orange County. Moving into LA, and similar tale, up for listings and up for demand. Riverside, similar tale. In fact, I'd just go ahead and let the secret out. There's only one county where we're going to see something different from a demand standpoint, and both supply, sellers saying it's time to sell, and demand, buyers saying it's time to write. Yeah, those are both up. San Bernardino up year over year for both. And here's our outlier. So our inventory is up slightly. New listings are up year over year. We can see new escrows, that's up year over year, but not as high as 2022. So Ventura always marching to its own drummer. And finally, San Diego, similar tale, up. So despite having the interest rates drop and then go back up, for the October numbers, we're seeing demand up for buyers, and we'll have to see what happens in November. The big thing that's going to have an effect on interest rates is the election, which I'm shooting this on election day, just to let you know. So I have no idea what's going to happen by tomorrow when this video is released. Hopefully we know a little bit more. Here we go, diving into the multifamily numbers. One of the only places you're going to get this data. Same things. We're looking at new listings. We're looking at pending sales, and we have our closings as well. Year over year, we're down for supply. We're still above where we were in 2022 for both number of properties going under contract and new listings. We're up for number of properties going under contract. So that slight dip we had in mortgage interest rates leading maybe to a few more folks writing offers in October for multifamily properties. It has been tough for properties to pencil because interest rates have been so high and so much is committed to debt service. As we see interest rates drop, maybe we will start to see more folks writing offers. And that's what we're seeing here in Orange County, but we're not seeing sellers saying, hey, quick, get my property on the market. Again, shooting this video on election day, don't know the outcome for Prop 33. Prop 33, we did a video on that and talked about what would happen if Costa-Hawkins was rolled back. We will see an effect on the LA multifamily market if Prop 33 passes, because it is guaranteed that LA City and LA County will enact more strict rent control if given the option, because Costa-Hawkins is gone, if there's a yes on Prop 33. So expect these numbers to change, and it could be pretty dramatic. We may also see a change in the single family numbers for LA as landlords make a change. I know I will be busy. I'm already talking to a lot of landlords listing properties right now where landlords aren't excited about the future in Los Angeles for them and their properties. Riverside, we've got a demand increase here. Again, this looks to be what happened when mortgage interest rates dropped slightly in the beginning of October, and we see sellers saying, hey, I'm not selling yet. San Bernardino, demand up slightly, actually right around where it was in 2022, and inventory up a little bit. Ventura, always all over the place. Not much you can tell here. The gap between new listings and pending sales is pretty uniform. Look how things are all over the place, 2019, 2020. Just not as many buildings trade in Ventura because we just don't have as many buildings in Ventura, fewer properties in general. And San Diego, interesting to see this trend. Very normal for an inventory amount, pretty close to 2020, higher than normal years of 2018 and 2019. Demand not as strong as some of those years in the past. So we do see a big delta between new listings and pending sales. Have to track this to see if inventory starts to build up. San Diego, still a desirable market for investors, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see these numbers shrink as we get closer to the end of the year and people trying to do their 1031 exchanges for 2024, get those finished out. Median home price madness, want to see a couple things. One, I want to see what's happening month over month. We can see Orange County, the median home price drop month over month, but LA and Riverside an increase month over month. Crazy numbers. The other important thing that we want to look at is we want to see how prices compare year over year. So OC up 7.8% year over year, LA 2.3, Riverside 5.0. Now, LA's number, that 2.3% year over year, if you factor in inflation, it actually would be a price drop, but we'll leave that on the side right now. Price is still in positive territory year over year, although much smaller, more realistic, more sustainable numbers, and not these big 18 to 20% year-over-year numbers, which was just too extreme and tough for the market to continue with that. And our next three counties, again, we're up month over month. In fact, there's a big increase in San Bernardino month over month for the median home price. So that is interesting to see. The only county that did not have an increase month over month is Orange County. And this is actually not typically the time of year where you see an increase month over month. As we get into the holidays, it's supposed to go the other way, but hey, we're seeing it. And then for the year over year median home price numbers, San Bernardino with 8.8, that's the biggest year over year increase. Ventura 2.1, San Diego 4.8. Again, more reasonable numbers, although 8.8 is a pretty big number for San Bernardino. Got to keep tracking, see how things end out for the year. In 2025, what are your predictions? We will have to see what happens. And this election may have some effects on mortgage interest rates, and that'll also determine how we start out 2025. Are you digging our data? Then you're our kind of people. If you're looking to buy or sell, make sure you reach out. Altos research reports, you're missing out if you're not subscribed to your area, so make sure you do that. Starting with Orange County, we could see the seller's market. We're still a strong seller's market. Inventory, that's where I want to look and see, because if we started to see more of an increase in inventory, we would potentially start to see more big, huge price reductions, but we can see the inventory levels have turned. And then looking at the different quartiles, looking at new versus absorbed, we can see for Orange County that we're still having more properties absorbed versus new. Moving into LA, slight seller's advantage for the market. Inventory is still high, but it looks like it's starting to turn. New versus absorbed, definitely absorbing more than we have new inventory. Riverside, slight seller's advantage. Inventory is turning, although then it ticked back up. And then new versus absorbed, here the trend is slightly different. Top half of the market, we have fewer properties in the top quartile being absorbed and slightly fewer in that second high quartile, but the bottom of the market, properties being absorbed. Days on market, we've seen an increase. If you've been watching these, you've seen that days on market were lower in months past, but that's not atypical this time of year. Things can take longer to sell. San Bernardino, slight seller's advantage, seeing inventory start to go the other way. That leads to a more healthy market. New versus absorbed, we're absorbing more than we have new. So this is something to continue to watch in San Bernardino. Ventura, strong seller's market, believe it or not, even with those crazy numbers we already show you. Inventory has been dropping, it's stabilized and dropping. And then look, new versus absorbed, in every case, it's higher. Look at that difference in the top quartile, only 4 new ones and 15 absorbed. Still 105 days on market, a long time, but that's a big surge in number of properties being absorbed, going under contract, and selling in Ventura at the top of that quartile. San Diego, strong seller's market, as it has been, even as pundits have said it's going to crash, and inventory has turned. It peaked a couple weeks ago, and it's now going the other way. And new versus absorbed, similar tale, where we're seeing a lot more properties going under contract. almost double properties in the top quartile in San Diego being absorbed versus new. Don't wait for me. Get these delivered to your email inbox by signing up for your city or zip code. Let us know in the comments below where you think the real estate market is headed for the rest of the year and into 2025. Subscribe for those Altos research reports and you'll get the bonus of being subscribed to our free weekly email newsletter. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we can't wait for you to watch this next video.